Hi everybody, it's Saturday again, and I think I'm just going to jump right into Julianne's question about what are my 5 favorite books. So here we go. Number 1, Breaking Dawn. This book is so wonderful. Like, I totally loved it when Bella got pregnant, even though she really wasn't supposed to, because Stephanie Meyer said it could never really happen. I love when authors do that to me. Number 2, New Moon. This comes in second only because Breaking Dawn was so wonderful, but my favorite part is when, like, the main character of the whole book practically leaves the other main character and doesn't come back for no apparent reason. Like, wonderful. My third favorite book, Eclipse. Who wouldn't love this? Now, it comes in third because this is one of the only books in the series that actually kind of has a plot. I don't like my books to have a plot. That's why the other two come in first. So this one's kind of like, meh. Okay, but in all seriousness, those books are terrible. And there are 337 days until Rockstock, and we'll go into the real books after the intro.
Let's make it rock, yeah. We'll rock like wizards, make it rock, yeah. We'll make it rock, yeah. We'll make it rock like wizards.
Okay, so I'm back in my house in Atlanta. It's my spring break, and I'm kind of bummed because, like, it's spring break and I'm not going anywhere. Like, I left New York and I came back here, but I mean, it's still not a vacation. Doesn't seem like a vacation. I don't know. Like, all my friends are going places like to Florida or to California or cool places. I want to go somewhere cool, but I can't. I guess I technically could. I've just been lazy and I haven't, like, planned anything. And I have money I could go and, like, I could fly somewhere. I just don't. So, I guess it's my own fault. Still. I want to go somewhere. Whatever. So yeah, back home, spring break, all those, covered all those bases. Nothing else is really going on. Like, just kind of been working on my thesis. You guys know how boring that all is. I talk about that way too much. So, anyway, Julianne's question, 5 favorite books. So I have 5 real books here that don't involve Twilight. And I kind of have them in no particular order. And I had a really hard time trying to figure out what would be my 5 favorite books. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into any young adult or any, like, super current books right here. I'm going to do my 5 favorite books of classical literature. And then if you would like to look at my personal channel within the next few days, I'll put a link in the sidebar. So yeah, I'm just doing this because I've been tagged by Grace from Snidget to do a better version of this whole kind of, like, name your favorite book thing. So I'm going to put it on my Sign a Slytherin account. Yeah, so you guys can go check that out if you want to see a better, more comprehensive list of books that include all books and not just classics. So without any further ado, let me go into some of my favorite books ever. And if you haven't read any of these, I strongly suggest that you read them, if for no other reason that I told you so, and I think I have pretty good taste. So, read them. Here we go. Number 1, for real. Count of Monte Cristo. I really love this book. I read it when I was like 15 or 16 to start with. You can probably see how beat up it is. I've had to resort to taping the bindings because it's, yeah, been read quite often. I really like this book a lot. And I think somebody made a mustache on Edmond Dantes. It wasn't me. Anyway, so number 2, Wuthering Heights. I really like the Victorian era literature. However, I'm not a fan of Pride and Prejudice. I really don't like Jane Austen in general, but Emily Bronte, she's got it going on with this one. I love Wuthering Heights. Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. Unrequited love. You don't get much better plots than that, so. Good book. Number 3, and if I had to pick a favorite, this probably would be my absolute favorite. Dracula. Yet another, I guess, Victorian era literature. Dracula is just truly one of the best pieces of literature that's ever been created. There's so much symbolism. It's also written in kind of like diary form. It's so good. If you haven't read Dracula, you really should. I'm surprised how many people actually have not read this book. I guess if you think that you don't like scary movies or you don't like scary things in general, so you just avoid it, definitely don't, because it's really not scary. There are a few frightening parts, but it's more about the symbolism. It's more about deeper meaning. So read it, read between the lines. It's masterful. Really, you don't skip this one. So let's see, number 4. This has been covered ad nauseum recently in the Harry Potter fandom, but it truly is a wonderful work of literature, and that is Great Gatsby. So yeah, I know Jules mentioned it. I'm not going to go very far into this one, but Great Gatsby is just wonderful because it goes into the successes and the failures of the American dream, and it challenges, in a way, the moral value of success, in my opinion. So yeah, it's an extremely good book. The writing is excellent. So yeah, read it. Last book, probably the most unorthodox of all these books, but it's still a classic. It would be Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. And this book, it was one of the Harlem Renaissance novels, kind of written in the 30s era. It's one of the great pieces of African American literature that exists. And if you haven't read this book, you really, really should. It's truly excellent. What I love about it is that it's not only a great work of African American literature, but it's also a great feminist piece. Yeah, seriously, do not skip this one. Make sure you read Their Eyes Are Watching God. Those are the 5 works of, I guess, classical literature that I really like. So yeah, once again, make sure you check my personal channel over the next couple days. I'm going to post a video that goes into some books that are more recent. I have a lot of books I've been reading recently. A lot of them are YA novels, and I don't know. I couldn't pick 5 out of all books in the world, so I'm going to kind of categorize it that way. And if you're interested, you should definitely check out my channel, and I will give you more book suggestions on things that I like. So moving on a bit. Ariel and Illy, I hope you guys are having fun in New York. I'm so sorry that I missed you. If I hadn't already planned to come home, I don't know. I wish I had known that Illy were coming to the States, because I could have changed my plans a bit. But yeah, I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you were able to go to Howls and Horcruxes. I'm glad you were at least able to hang out with Ariel. I just wish I could be there. And Julianne, I hope you're having a great time in Louisiana. I've been seeing some of your tweets, and I know that you're having a good time in New Orleans. So I hope you don't get too bored by Arkansas. Call me if you do. And what else is going on in my life today? I don't know. Oh, nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. I suck. So anyway, Ariel, I'll see you tomorrow.